How did you get started as a DJ?
My story of becoming a DJ was actually by mistake. I used to do Zumba fitness, and I met a friend who was a DJ, and he had a birthday party for his daughter. I jumped on the set. They're like, wow, like, you actually are pretty good. I think over time, when I changed my marketing scheme, it helped me reach that level of clients that value business and they value your worth.
Do you have any advice for anybody who maybe is scared to take that leap?
You got to be a personality. So that's my number one recommendation. And then two, after you learn to be comfortable with the people, move your business forward, you got to learn the business and follow-ups. So
a little bit about how you got started with DJing.
I started doing trivias and karaoke to start with, and then I'd still at the trivias and karaoke I'd bring a controller with me and my laptop, and then kind of just went from there and just started playing more and more and be like, hey, I work at this place, let me come DJ. They're like, okay.
So what have you been doing before you were able to go back to work? What were you doing with your time?
Well, I was laying at the pool a lot and drinking and whatnot during the day because I had nothing else to do.
Great. So what advice would you have for somebody listening that is maybe just getting started?
I'm trying to think what's the best way to do it. I mean, I'd say do kind of what I did, get events going throughout the week so that, like, because I mean, when people start in it, like, as long as they can DJ well enough and read a crowd and beat match, you pretty much can play at any place.
So how did you get started in the music industry and as a DJ?
Honestly, I'd say it was probably just when I was a kid. At one point, I was just like, I started turning on the radio, and then I stayed up until late at night, and I heard like a live to air, and I'm like, what is this? This is the coolest thing that's ever happened that I've ever heard.
What's it been like for you in Toronto during this last year?
Oh, it's been a nightmare. Like for me, it's been all right because I took it to like kind of create my work that I'm doing, but like as for our industry, it was shut down completely.
So what advice would you have to somebody listening that's just getting started?
Just getting started, I say connect with other DJs in your town. Like go out there, meet them, and then I think for me anyways, one of the most important things is just having like 6 skills, so you have to work on your skills.
So how did you get started DJing?
I kind of got started, I was in the Army band. I've been a musician all my life. And when I was in the Army band full time, sometimes they want a sound system with pre-recorded music, which is what a DJ does. And somehow I got picked one day to do it because I had a large library, and I was picked after that all the time.
So what have you been doing lately? That magic question.
Like we're gonna go from like all this growth and greatness to hitting the worst year any of us have ever seen. I mean, so I live in Wisconsin, and Wisconsin has probably been less restrictive states because of the fact that when these lockdowns and restrictions were happening, there were representatives in our state who then took these lockdowns and the way they were introduced and took them to the Supreme Court of the state and fought them. And then the Supreme Court didn't say that the lockdown itself was illegal, but the way it was implemented was illegal. So we really haven't had any real lockdowns except for the first one that happened back in March and April. One of the things I can't stress enough, because I've dealt with this myself, is don't do it for thinking you're gonna get a lot of people watching. Do it for you so that you have an outlet to perform on, and you're putting something out there to the world, whether the world looks at it or not.
So how did you get into DJing?
I've been DJing for just over 20 years. I started back in high school, pursued it in college. My college degree is audio engineering with a minor in broadcasting with a specialization in sociology. So it kind of works together, right? The study of people and being a DJ and broadcast and everything else. And I pursued that through college, and I DJ'd all through college. And by the year outside of college, I wanted to keep doing my passion, but I had to find something that was more secure. And then I opened up a store a year after college.
So tell me about DJing on the cruise ship. How did you get into that?
So how I fell into the cruise ship was I go to the DJ Expo every year in Atlantic City, except for last year, of course. So I went to the Expo, it was exactly 6 years ago, in August, and I attended the Expo. I was walking around and I had just got back from a cruise. And I was like, why is Carnival set up at this DJ Expo? They had a table set up. They had a table, Carnival Cruise Line. I'm like, why is Carnival set up at this Expo? So I walked by this table about 3 or 4 times at the Expo. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go check it out. So my wife was with me. She's like, what? Why is Carnival? So I was like, what are you guys here? Y'all giving away free cruises? And the guy was like, no, we're looking for DJs come work on a cruise ship. And it was just like, bing, because me and my wife was just on the ship for vacation. And we were talking about how awesome it would be to work on a cruise ship.
Tell us about what you've been doing this last year, how you have shifted. I mean, I have talked with you. You are staying busy as ever. So what is your secret?
Too busy.
Yeah.
But with Twitch, I was double dipping. I was doing my Twitch broadcast while recording my Saturday mix show. So I do a recorded Saturday mix show here in the area for the past 3 years. So I'm sitting here just doing a mix, but on Twitch, I can double dip, get my Twitch hours and record my 4-hour show.